What is up, and welcome back to Beyond the Arc with Brandon Silvers. As always, I am your host, Brandon Silvers. Got another special one for y'all today. If you don't know, here in the Low Country, we have a fire 3-on-3 basketball tournament held right on the flight deck of the USS Yorktown. And today, I'm joined by the founder of that tournament, Ern Gass. Ern, what is going on, man?
What's up? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. So that's coming up Saturday, September 30th at 10 a.m. We're going to talk more about that. I'm going to be out there. The legendary Danny Foxworth is going to be out there. But the first thing that really comes to my mind when I see someone who has organized a tournament of this magnitude is that dude must love basketball. Am I correct in my assessment?
Yes, you are definitely correct.
Word. So take me back and let me know, where did this love of basketball start? I'm always curious about that.
So back in Sumter, South Carolina. So I'm from Sumter, South Carolina. I'm from it's a small town. I don't know, where are you from?
I'm from right here in Charleston.
Okay, so you know where Sumter is.
Sumter, that's home of John Morant, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. So I came from Sumter. I used to play basketball all the time. We would play at the YMCA in Sumter. I would play in my backyard. We had a hoop set up in my backyard that my dad used to play on, actually. And when I was a kid and I couldn't play with the grown adults, he would have that basketball set up. I would watch them play outside all day. I would want to jump in on the games, but I couldn't jump in on the games because they were just too big and much older than me. So I would play after they left, and eventually I got big enough and old enough to where I could play with these guys, and then I started doing pretty well against them, and then I played at Lakewood High School in Sumter, and our team, we honestly wasn't that good at Lakewood, but I knew that I knew I was good, and I wanted to play D1 basketball. So I didn't have any offers or anything, but I went to Charleston Southern and I walked on the team back in 2006.
That's what's up. So I played D2 for a brief spell at Newberry, but walk us through that walk-on life, because that really, to me, just seeing what I've seen, that speaks to this dude not only loves basketball, but knows how to grind. So what was it like just walking on the team there?
So yeah, that was definitely a grind. So they had tryouts. They posted the tryouts around campus, and if I remember correctly, I think it was through our email. We may have gotten something too, but that's besides the fact. But I went to the practice, and it was just high paced. Everything was just high paced. The difference between like high school and college isn't really I would say the advancements of the drills or anything. It's just the speed.
Everything is
just fast. Everything that you do in high school is the same, but it's just in super speed. So that was the same thing with the tryouts. And I was known for my speed. So I brought that to the tryouts. And I just grinded. I always was the shortest on the court as well. So that was also a hindrance, but I would play that to my advantage. So I just used speed in everything that I did with the trials as well too.
Man, so when you went to Charleston Southern, did you go with a thought in mind, I can make this team, or did you just show up and just kind of trusted the process, as the Sixers like to say, and like, look, I've been working for this, I know I can do it? Because I know they got like
Um,
preferred walk-ons and they got just the open tryouts. Were you the open tryout kind of guy or the preferred walk-on?
I was the open trial kind of guy, but
Ooh.
I did, yeah, but I knew I could make the team. I just knew I could. It was just I was kind of overlooked back in high school. Didn't have like social media and all this stuff going on then, but I just knew I could make the team for sure.
Man, that's wild. So for people who don't know, tell them, what is it like being a walk-on at a D1 school?
Um, it's a okay. So it is tough playing basketball period in college for sure. You got your 6 a.m. Workouts or weightlifting, and then you got your individual practice at like 11, and then you got your team practice at like 6. And then you got class in between all of that. It's pretty
Like
it's
a
pretty
full-time
crazy
job for
actually.
free.
It's a full-time job, definitely. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely a full-time job.
And I know like the respect for walk-ons. If you're a star player, I feel like you get a little bit more leeway with stuff like
Yeah.
grades. You can have a bad practice, but the walk-ons, you got to be on point every single part of your, not only just your game, but your life. You can't have a bad
Mhm.
practice or a bad grade or midterm, can you?
No, not at all. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. There's no leeway. You have to be on point. Uh, yeah, because you feel that you already feel that you have to be on point as a walk on anyway. It's kind of like this feeling. I can't really explain it, but it's like a feeling that you have to be on point. But yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Because it kind of seems like to me, like not only do you have the tryout to make the team, but it's almost like the whole year, every day is just a new tryout every day. Because they don't really
Hmm.
owe you anything. You're not on scholarship, so they can just get rid of you, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So how did you deal with that pressure every day mentally?
Um, just showing up. I always was a hard worker. So that with athleticism, being a hard worker and having some athletics definitely uh I wouldn't say negated that, but it equalized that. So I was able to show the coaches that I'm here and that I'm going to give you my all. And really they couldn't say anything from there. It's like, we like you, we want you here. You give us your all, and you go at any of these players. So
So what was your how long did you play there? What was your playing career like?
I played 2 years, and then I tore my ACL back in Sumter.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that? The initial injury, what's going through your mind when you first do it or find out that
Um
it's your ACL?
so initially, so as a as an athlete, we've all been injured before, plenty of times. Um, but when this injury happened, I knew it was serious because nothing ever happened to me like that. So it was
Like
just
it.
fluke accident, fluke injury kind of thing. And once I did it and I felt my knee, and I could see it just instantly swell up, and I heard it crack.
Mm.
Um, Yeah, I said, yeah, this is definitely not a normal injury. So yeah, everything
Especially
went through my mind.
especially for a dude like yourself. You say you were one of your big attributes was your athleticism, and like
Hmm.
ACL injury is devastating to that, or it can be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tore my Achilles, and I wasn't a huge athleticism guy as far as jump out the gym. I was more like coordination and quickness. But still, even
Mhm.
with that, I was like, oh, this is a problem. This is going to be hard to overcome. This is going to really at least be an obstacle in my career. So were you at a point when you tore it where you were still thinking, I might go play pro ball or something? Now what am I going to do? Or where were you at as far as basketball terms?
Basketball terms, it was definitely devastating. Um, I really didn't have a plan
Mm,
after that. I never thought I would get injured
yeah.
to that extent. But I did always have an entrepreneurial mindset. So I I guess I would say I used that in getting my business started eventually with Ballers World.
Okay, well, let's talk about that because that was kind of the same process that I went through post injury, except I floundered a little bit for a couple years there. But then,
Hmm.
like, people always tell you you can't play basketball forever.
Yep.
And like you said, we always think, no, we could probably play basketball forever. We're not going to get hurt. But then the day comes and it's like, nope, you don't even get to choose when you stop.
Hmm.
So Ballers World comes about. And initially, what was that idea and how did it look?
So I always wanted something, I always wanted a business and something that I was passionate about. So I always wanted like a basketball business, but I didn't know what I wanted exactly with this business. But when I tore my ACL, it was a couple years after I tore my ACL as well. But I went to so I'll back it up a little bit more. Back in the day, I so I'm from Sumter, South Carolina, but I moved to a town close to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for 2 years
Okay.
in seventh and eighth grade. Um, and they had this tournament. It was the Gus Macker tournament. I don't know if you ever heard of that,
Yeah.
but they had a Gus Macker tournament. It was a 3-on-3 tournament, and when I tell you, like, that was the time of my life, that
Mm.
was the time of my life as a kid that played basketball. So after I tore my ACL and I was back in the South, um, after college, it's like, why do we not have this tournament down here? These kids will really enjoy this. Everyone would enjoy it. Like, why do we not have this tournament here? So I saw an event at Patriots Point, which is the location that we're using for this event. And I thought it would really be cool to have that tournament, and not only that tournament, but have it on top of the ship would be an even better atmosphere and better for everyone. So I centered the Ballers World around that idea of having our events be innovative, of having our events be something new to either the area or or the kids. So that is what Ballers World is. It's about innovative basketball events and innovative ideas that we have with basketball, but the innovative ideas part is still coming. We have some ideas, but that's going to take a lot of money. What I have up my sleeve for this next thing, but yeah, that's how Ballers World got started, and that's where the idea of it came from.
That's what's up. And I know that's something that's always been in my head too, especially as I got older and started going to different cities. Like we had midnight basketball downtown for a little bit when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But South Carolina, you just look at the players in the league. Like we've got a lot of basketball talent, a lot of passion for basketball, but not really the events that line up with that to give us a chance to kind of showcase that passion and talent for the game. And as you get out and see the world, you're like, what is going on? So, I mean, I think this is incredible for that reason alone. Now, I know it's not just a basketball tournament. I know y'all are doing some different things for the community as well through it. So why don't you talk a little bit about what's going on there as well?
So we do have Ballersworld Global Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, and that is the purpose of that is to help the underserved through recreational sports. So we have a development day initiative in which we teach underserved kids basketball. Now, Ballersworld Global Foundation isn't just basketball, but I started off in basketball, so naturally it's starting in basketball. But once we get bigger with this nonprofit, it will expand into all sports. So with that being said, we do want to expand this development day into other sports. If we have different people that we could work with that are in other sports, we would love to work with them. And we also have some other initiatives that we are gearing towards that one will go align with the idea that I have for Ballers World. That's going to take some money, but once we get it started and going, I think it could definitely make a major impact on the underserved community. And that's what we're trying to do at Ballersworld Global.
Definitely. So how many years have you held Battle on the Deck?
It's 5 years.
5 years. So what was that first year like?
Ooh, it was kind of a mess. Yeah, it was. We didn't have as many teams. Some of the hoops that I had were missing parts. Yeah, so that was a mess. But eventually, it went smoothly. But working out those hiccups throughout the years has definitely shown us major improvement in this tournament. It helped us to make major improvement in this tournament.
What did you see the first year that made you think, okay, this has been a learning process for sure, but I need to keep doing this?
The enjoyment, people coming back after like, hey, you gonna have the tournament again? You having the tournament, right? Just seeing the smile on people's faces, just it makes you want to do this. Because the prices, we're not trying to kill you with the prices. It's $120 a team. It's like pretty much that is the fee to get on the ship. You're paying to play per person. So yeah, so so we're not trying to kill anyone with prices. We want you there. If there are underserved teams that can't pay, let us know. We can get you in the tournament for free. It's about getting the community together, getting everyone on the ship, having a good time in the name of basketball.
Yeah, and I can speak to that as well because I know both you and your community relations guy, Eric, have both hit me up wanting to know, look, do you know any teams who just want to play for free? We're looking to fill up some spots with some underserved community participants.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all aren't just talking the talk, you're walking the walk as well. So we show up Saturday, September 30th, 10 a.m. What can you expect if you're a participant? And then what is there for the spectators as well?
So for the participants, you can expect, well, you're gonna go and register at the front. Then you'll get on the ship. You will expect to play your games. You have a minimum of 2 games.
Okay.
So you'll play your 2 games, and then you'll have entertainment. You'll have DJ. You have food. We have vendors all around it, and then we have some games for Ballersworld Global Foundation. We'll have like a free throw game. We'll have like a raffle. We just want to keep people entertained. So yeah, and we're making some shirts too, and they're gonna be pretty. I like them.
Good, good. So how many teams do y'all have this year? I know you mentioned this has been a growing thing through the years. What are y'all looking at this year?
So we're at about 55 teams right now. The deadline is the 25th. So I would expect to get about 30 more teams from there.
Okay.
So, people sign up late.
And yeah, I would probably have been one of those people if I still hoop that much. What time does the cutoff? Because I know this is dropping the 25th. So what time you hear this episode in the morning? Can I still run and sign up at 11:59 p.m.?
Oh, this is on the 25th, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can do it up to midnight, and
Okay.
we can get the brackets and everything going Tuesday.
So if you're interested, pause the episode, go sign up, then come back and
Mhm.
finish the episode. And what else? So speaking of that, this is actually the $1 million question. I'm going to put it in the show notes as well. Where do people sign up? What's the website?
So the website is www.ballersworld.net. And you go to the events page, and from there you'll see the Mount Pleasant event. You'll also see other events that we're gearing towards doing as well. Oh, you haven't saw the website, have you?
I was checking it out,
Okay. Well,
but
we have the other events that we're looking at doing in the future as well. We've gotten the okay to do it in the other ships in the United States.
I mean, it is Ballersworld Global, right? So
Yeah.
that's what's up. Because I know they had, I think Michigan State came and played a game on the Yorktown about a decade ago, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. And they brought in the courts, and the condensation messed up the games.
Yep, they had to stop.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
So ours is directly on the deck. So as long as it doesn't rain, we don't typically have to worry about that.
yes. Is there a plan for rain? Because I was looking at the weather. I think we're all good, but what happens in the case of rain? Have you ever had
Um,
that happen?
yeah, I've had that happen, and we had to push it back.
Okay.
Um, so I have a pretty good relationship with Patriots Point, with the vendor. I mean, with the venue, and we already have something where I can push the event back just in case it rains. But we really hope it doesn't
Yes,
rain.
agreed. And like I said, well, I'm not a weatherman, but so far so good.
Hmm.
And through the website too, if you want to get involved and volunteer, I know there are links for that as well.
Yes. Yeah, we could use a couple more volunteers, maybe some more scorekeepers. That would be great.
So come through, get involved. For spectators, is there a charge to come in and watch?
Yes, $20.
See, it's an easy, fun Saturday activity. Let us know every other place outside of ballersworld.net where we can keep up with it or what we can do to support or support other things you're doing?
Ballersworldglobal.org. So that's the website for the nonprofit. Sign up on the websites on both of them, and we'll keep you updated on everything. And if you want to get involved in the nonprofit in Ballersworld, just hit us up.
That's what's up. I'm going to put all that in the show notes. Man, is there anything else you want to cover?
I think that's it that I can think of.
Man, I'm excited. I know we're going to get some content out there as well day of. This is a great event, great cause. Show up, help him get some more money so we can take this thing global for real. Man, I appreciate you coming on, Ern.
Appreciate you having me, for sure.
All right, that has been another episode of Beyond the Arc with Brandon Silvers. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, and share, and come on out to the Battle on the Deck Saturday, September 30th at 10 a.m. All the information is going to be in the show notes for the 5th and final time, I'll say that. So I will catch y'all next week.